Welcome to FedScoop TV. I'm Wyatt Cash, and I'm here with Corey Sanders. Corey is General Manager of Microsoft's Azure Compute, and we're here today at the Red Hat 2016 Government Symposium. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we've been talking a lot about open source, and I'm intrigued to hear a little more about how Microsoft looks at the evolution of open source and to some extent how that's also playing out in the federal and commercial markets.
Yeah. You know, why it's been pretty amazing actually to see the transition that Microsoft has gone through with open source over the years. You know, I think certainly with Azure and being able to deploy Linux on Azure, it's actually nearly 1 out of every 3 VMs on Azure is now running with Linux, which has been really exciting to sort of see the way that the business changes. But, you know, on top of that, a lot of the excitement that we're seeing is just how much innovation that you can get by doing things with open source, how much you can actually drive new technologies. And so things like, you know, we've recently fully open sourced .NET Core, so that which is a development platform to be able to run, of course, open source, but also run on top of Linux. And so it enables and has seen a huge amount of additional ideas being brought in, and something that's been really exciting to see some of these products that are sort of long-standing products, Microsoft products that many people have really liked, to now see the growth and excitement go out to a broader community because of these changes that we've made, and that I think to me is really the benefits that I see with open source is the bringing together the ideas of the community, and it's helping us certainly in our products, but it's also helping our customers to be able to deploy on Azure and in government, of course, as well. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a little about security. I know Microsoft has a long history of making sure the systems and their software is secure, but as we move into this more open environment, how do you see the evolution of development around more secure platforms evolving?
Yeah. So you know, one of the things that we talk about a lot with the cloud is sort of the security concepts that we have, and certainly we secure the infrastructure and secure the entire platform to make sure people feel confident and feel like it's a trusted platform to be able to deploy on. In addition, obviously, the open source angle helps a lot in those aspects as well. When you're deploying application solutions, let's say on top of, let's say, Red Hat Enterprise Linux or OpenShift being sort of open source, there's so many eyes on it, right? There's so many aspects to be able to find some of these issues and detect them. But then also on top of that, we have aspects that we offer at Microsoft to try and proactively engage on security issues. So one aspect that we have at Microsoft called the Digital Crimes Unit, and their entire job working with industries and partners around the world is to be able to detect potential risks and be able to engage and react based on those potential security risks. So up and down the stack, we're pretty passionate around making sure that Azure and Microsoft in general are an incredibly secure environment for people to run their workloads.
And lastly, let's talk a little about the cloud. I know Microsoft, as last I heard, is something like 38 regions around the globe.
That's right. Yeah, 38 announced regions. That's right.
Azure cloud facilities. I know that they're heading towards 6 facilities just for the government alone, which is impressive, particularly with the security credentialing and so forth. But how do you see open source playing a role in those facilities as part of Azure?
Yeah, I think almost all of them, if not all of them, have a huge amount of open source deployments going into them. But certainly on the government side, something that we've seen here today, the ability to take advantage of open source, both for lift and shift solutions, taking something you've got on data center and bringing it in. Let's say it's running on Red Hat Enterprise Linux and so on. But we talked about a lot today, and I'm hearing a lot of excitement, is sort of the next generation of workload. And this is really where you see the cloud having a huge opportunity. All of this regional coverage and scale, you can now deploy things so big, so massive that before were just a dream, right? And now you can go in and say, look, I want to deploy 1,000 VMs overnight, and then I'm going to make them all go away tomorrow, and I'm just going to pay for that difference. And suddenly, with solutions like Red Hat Enterprise Linux, with solutions like OpenShift and containers on top, suddenly the realm of the possible has dramatically expanded. And that's really where the benefit of this many regions and the scale that we're looking at it, deploying with Azure, it enables the infrastructure that's going to make those new application models really possible. And that's been a big part of the relationship with Red Hat. We're both pretty excited about what people can do with the combination of that open source solution on top of our massively scalable infrastructure.
Well, we certainly seem to be at a converged moment where a lot of the technologies are coming together to really enable this, and I think a lot of the government people that we talked to today also certainly appreciate where open standards, open source really enables them in ways they haven't been able to do before.
Absolutely, yeah, we're seeing quite a shift, and I think that's been the case for a while, but we're seeing that shift translate into cloud deployments and cloud innovation as well, and we're really excited to be a part of it, and really excited to be a part of this type of community and engagement.
Well, terrific. Yeah. Well, Corey, thank you very much for being with us. Pleasure
Wyatt.
chatting with you. Appreciate some of your insights on behalf of Microsoft.
You bet. Thank you so much.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm Wyatt Cash. Look for more of our coverage at fedscoop.com. Thanks for being with us.